This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 25 is also brought to you by Silver State Health, PAHRUMP's exclusive pediatric care clinic. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
So glad you can join us here on News 25. It's Friday. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. We've all been ready for the weekend since about Monday. Today is February 26th.
Well, a two-vehicle accident today sent one to the hospital via Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue ground ambulance. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue transported one accident victim by ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital this morning as a result of a two-vehicle crash on Highway 160 near Carpenter Canyon. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived on scene along with Nevada Highway Patrol, who's conducting the accident investigation. Both vehicles involved in this crash sustained major damage.
And there was a two-vehicle accident last evening on Highway 160 that left two vehicles with damage, but luckily no injuries.
Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of a two-vehicle crash that happened around 5 p.m. on Thursday evening. Both vehicles sustained moderate to major damage. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene. All occupants declined to be transported at the time of the crash to local medical facilities. Both of the vehicles were off of the roadway off Highway 160 and Gamebird Road, which did not impede traffic in any way. All right, well, Savannah Rucker, Nye County Comptroller, presented budget status at the Board of County Commissioners meeting on February 17th. Her report for the county was positive.
This is the Nye County General Fund budget status report for each department. As Commissioner Carboni mentioned, there are a few departments that have salaries that are projecting over budget. The reason for this is when we budgeted for the fiscal 21 year, we budgeted in a 4.6% vacancy rate, assuming that all departments would experience turnover that could realize those savings. And we've had several departments that have not had turnover yet, creating that projection in excess of what we budgeted. We do have a couple of departments that I did want to touch base on that have service and supply issues. That's the Sheriff's Office and miscellaneous overhead. Both of these departments have been under budgeted for many, many years, and actually we have an item on tomorrow's agenda to deal with the services and supply budget and the calculation for future budgets that will prove that, in the past we have not budgeted these departments appropriately, and we need to take action on that. And miscellaneous overhead, services and supplies covers the unfunded mandates passed down from the state. And so those values do change each legislative session, and we are actually reviewing bill drafts currently that may impact those assessments in future years. So that's always a moving target for the county. Outside of that, there are no funds that we have any issues with. There will likely be some augments that come forward to the board, including the building department fund. We are writing more permits than we anticipated, and when we write more permits, we generate more revenue. That creates an increased payment to Charles Abbott, who facilitates that service for us, so we'll likely be bringing forward that item. But outside of that, all the other funds look good, including the jail fund. At this point in time, we're in pretty good shape.
The Nevada Supreme Court has ruled in favor of the state water engineer on Order 1293A, which requires property owners here in Basin 162, which encompasses PAHRUMP, to purchase 2 acre-feet of water rights to drill a domestic well on land that has not had previous water rights or a well on it. The water rights will be relinquished to the state to reduce what the state is calling an over-appropriation. The Nevada Supreme Court has remanded back to the district court part of the argument questioning Order 1293A of being unconstitutional. That order was put in place by former state water engineer Jason King in December of 2017. And we'll be back with more News 25 in just a few, so stay with us.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Costco is raising its minimum wage and fewer people are applying for unemployment. Investors are watching Johnson & Johnson as the FDA decides whether to approve the company's COVID vaccine.
Topping our news, J&J shares are in focus today as the U.S. Food and Drug Administration reveals whether that drug maker's one-dose COVID-19 vaccine is fit for emergency use. Bahrain became the first country to give approval on Thursday. Raises are on the way for Costco workers. Next week, the retailer is bumping up pay to $16 per hour, but already more than half of Costco's crew earns above $25 per hour. Also, Signet Jeweler, which owns Zales, Jared's, and K Jewelers, is increasing employee pay to $15 per hour. That new wage rolls out in full by the spring of 2022. Checking the economy, the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell recently to 730,000, better than the 825,000 economists expected. The economy grew at a pace of 4.1% in the final months of 2020, slightly faster than predicted at 4%.
A man is under arrest after a fight at the Family Dollar store on Dahlia Street.
Joshua Zaja is under arrest and facing a charge of assault on a protected person with a deadly weapon. Nye County deputies were dispatched for a reported fight at the Family Dollar store on Dahlia Street around 6:45 Thursday evening. Dispatchers said the reporting party had been jumped by several males. Deputies say the victim did not want to file a police report, but did ask officers to accompany him into the desert to retrieve his belongings. While searching for the victim's property, deputies say another man, later identified as Zaja, yelled out, "You better be the police." As they walked towards Zaja, officers say they could see him coming toward them with a knife in his hand and the blade facing toward the officers in a threatening manner. Officers identified themselves, but they say Zaja continued to approach them with knife in hand. They say he did drop the knife once he heard them talking on their radios and began following the officers' verbal commands. Zaja was placed under arrest and transported to the Nye County Detention Center.
Well, we hear from time to time again why it's important to eat a healthy diet, but that sometimes is easier said than done. That's where a dietitian can help. TJ Hellyer is a registered dietitian in Las Vegas with an office here in PAHRUMP. He explains how a good diet could lead to a better quality of life.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge part of it. Just little changes making a big difference, just how we feel, how we're going about things, how our energy feels, our outlook on the day, how we look at maybe doing exercise, kind of how we tackle the problems that come with it every single day, the things that we're kind of dealing with. It's a huge portion of it. A lot of times people they might see me and they might think we're going to just kind of have them doing nothing but eating the health foods. And we can kind of find some ways to do a little bit of everything. It's truly about the balance. We might talk about fiber intake, how it relates to cholesterol levels and things of that nature. We might talk about various foods, how they're going to affect your blood sugar, how we're going to kind of manage that. And I think timing of eating is super important. You know, kind of eating a little more earlier in the day. We have the entirety of the day to burn it through. Just some little changes like that, not eating so much late at night. How do we do that? Smaller meals throughout the course of the day. It's going to be better for our energy, better for digestion, much, much better for absorption. It allows us to kind of put our best foot forward, be a little more in control about the decisions we make. We go into that next meal hungry, but not so hungry that we don't know what to choose and we're just grabbing stuff. So that is kind of a key component of kind of setting us up for success, getting the ball rolling in the right direction. We kind of feel like we're in control of what we're doing. And I think when it comes to fad diets and stuff, you're getting all kinds of different information coming from all these different angles, and there's some good substance there, and sometimes there isn't. We just need to kind of find what works based on the individual. We do that. I look through the labs, I look through the medications, I look through the medical history, kind of see what's going on there, tailor it to the individual. It's not necessarily just writing up a diet to follow what's on the paper. It's to be able to kind of think outside the box and think for ourselves so we can kind of take those tools and run with them. I think meal planning is important. I think kind of looking ahead of what we're going to be doing. I think not necessarily prepping it all out, but having a game plan helps a lot. And that's kind of what we go through. How do we create a game plan? What are some good options for some snacks? How do we get some different things? A lot of times the best snacks, the best items are things that are readily available. We can pull through Walmart, pull through Smith's, grab them, have them. That way, if we do get hungry in a pinch, we have it right there. That's 9/10 of it right there. Portion control is super important. I think the types of food we're having is very important, but I don't know necessarily as important as when we're having it and how often we're having it. I think moderation is key. I think as far as new diets coming and going, they come, they go just like that. Better to kind of break it down and kind of see what the benefit is of that particular diet. And if we need that diet at all, a lot of times it just changes how often we're eating things, the portion sizes of it, and kind of finding that balance. I mean, maybe we still go out to eat, we still have fast food from time to time, that's fine. But understanding balance and portion, we kind of break that down to meet every need, absolutely.
Well, Hellyer says he can help patients with diabetes kidney and heart disease and assist those who just want to lose some weight. For more information, you can call TJ Hellyer at his office, 304-415-1384, or you can even find him on Facebook at TJ Hellyer.
We have the Friday edition of Save a Pet coming up, so stay with us.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. Well, if you're unlucky enough to get COVID-19 and hope to speed your recovery with vitamin C and zinc, don't bother. A recent study suggests the popular immune health supplements are no match for novel coronavirus.
In this randomized controlled trial, so which is the purest form of science out there, what we were able to show that zinc or vitamin C or the combination of two did not reduce disease severity in outpatients that are affected by COVID-19.
Cleveland Clinic researchers studied about 200 people fighting mild to moderate coronavirus at home. They wanted to see if a cocktail of vitamin C and zinc or the individual supplements alone had any impact on reducing severity or duration of COVID-19 infection. It's important to note study participants took much higher doses of the supplements than you'd get over the counter. Despite such large doses, results show they did not lessen symptoms or length of illness. The best way to treat a mild case of COVID-19 is still the old-fashioned way, by staying hydrated, getting plenty of rest, and using over-the-counter medicines to help ease symptoms like fever, headache, and cough. It's also important to monitor your fever and breathing and get help if you notice any signs of distress.
Recognizing signs of deterioration, recognizing signs where you're not improving after a few days, those are crucial.
Doctors recommend calling your medical provider or going to the emergency room if you have COVID-19 and severe shortness of breath, confusion, a productive cough, or any other symptom you can't care for at home. Complete results can be found in JAMA Open Network.
Thanks so much to Brad Francis for that report. Well, I got to tell you, this next dog, I would take this one home if I could have another dog. And it's Friday, and that's time to meet another dog ready for adoption. We're going to catch up with Darbie, who introduces us to Remy.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darbie here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Remy. Remy has a very sad situation. So she's a 6-month-old pit mix. She's obviously mixed with a much bigger breed. She has quite big paws. But Remy is only 6 months old, and she was an owner surrender because she would go and knock down the kids when she went to go play because she's a puppy. So Remy's gorgeous pitty. She is mainly all white. She has freckles all over her body. She has a little black mark on her eye and on her ears and a little black dots all over. She's a super sweet girl. You could tell that she's definitely going to have such an amazing, goofy personality when she warms up to everyone. Remy is a little shy. As you can imagine, she obviously was adopted to a family when she was quite little, and then now she's in a completely new environment. She's wondering where her family was, and she's kind of scared of sounds, and she just needs some time to open up. So I can definitely see that this doggie is going to be an amazing family dog. Amazing. She does well in cars. She does well with kids. She does well with other dogs. She just needs someone to go and give her time and be patient with her as she becomes more comfortable in a home. If you want to come and visit her, definitely spend a minimum of 15 minutes with her, but please do not judge her just because she's a little shy right now, because she will definitely open up. She's only 6 months old. She needs to be properly trained though. A dog like this, like many others, is a very high energy dog. They need to go on frequent walks. They need to have active playtime. They need a really strong sense of leadership. She will do best in that type of environment. So if she does start jumping up, she needs to be trained to not jump up anymore. She just needs guidance, honestly. She needs a strong sense of leadership and an active owner and an active family. So if you want to come and see Remy or any of her friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, please give them a call ahead of time to make an appointment. 775-751-7700. 7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in PAHRUMP. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, it's beautiful outside and a great weekend to adopt Remy.
I think so. Wouldn't it be fun? You could take him for walks in this gorgeous weather. He'd like it too. It is a gorgeous sunset out there tonight. Thanks to Lerner and Rowe for that pretty picture. John will have the weekend weather forecast when we come back.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and this is your report for a Friday. Congratulations, you made it all the way to the end of the week. Hooray! They're celebrating up north in northern Nevada with temperatures of 55 degrees and about all the way down to Goldfield, as much as 60 degrees. Lows at night in the low 20s. Out in Beatty, a little bit better, 64 degrees for a high today. Amargosa and Las Vegas approaching 70, but not quite making it, with highs all the way up to 68 and 69 degrees. Death Valley looking good, 77 degrees currently, with a 48-degree temperature variant tonight. Let's check out the beautiful town of PAHRUMP, where the grass is green, the air is pure, and it's 63 degrees currently. Not too bad. 66 was our high today. Winds out of the south to 11 miles per hour. The sun rose this morning gloriously at 6:17 a.m., and it's going to set in just a couple minutes, 5:36. Once you go outside to enjoy the sunset, it's always spectacular here. High humidity at 19%, giving us just wispy clouds, nothing really to complain about. Let's take a look at, as we head into the weekend, big winds this weekend. 23-mile-per-hour average gusts on Saturday, Sunday as much as 19-mile-per-hour average gusts. And then it'll calm down a little bit. Our temperatures will rise from current levels in the upper 50s all the way up to 72 degrees by next Friday. So we're having a nice warming trend. We'll see some cloud cover return a little bit and the winds dying down. It should be a wonderful week ahead of us. But if you can stand a little blow this weekend, it'll be a wonderful weekend too. So enjoy that. All right, we'll head it back to the desk. It's Missy, Indiana.
Thanks so much, Sean. You know, I know you have French bulldogs. We're all enthralled in the whole Lady Gaga bulldog kidnapping thing. And I got to say, I hope that those people get caught. It's just
can't go stealing a member of somebody's family. That's bad all the way around. I'm keeping my fingers crossed they find those dogs.
Every time I talk to her about it, I always go, what about the guy that was shot, though?
And I'm like, what about the dogs? No, he's going to be fine, and I'm happy about that.
He's going to be fine, and what a hero he is. And no kidding. So we're having a great weekend. It's going to be fantastic. We hope you guys have a great weekend as well. We'll see you back here on Monday. I'm Deanna.
I'm Missy. Be safe. Have a good one.
Good night.